Good evening. We all have our time machines. Some take us back, they are called memories. Some take us forward, they are called dreams. Welcome to BMC News Live in English, brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers. I'm Vinod Narayanan, joining you with the daily news updates. Today's headlines. Bahrainis exercise their most fundamental civic duty by casting votes. Bahrain International Air Show 2022 success celebrated internationally. UAE firms have 50 days to achieve Emiratization target before being fined. Biometric system to be implemented at all ports of Kuwait in early 2023. Representatives of 75 countries to participate in the Conference on Countering Financing of Terrorism to be held in New Delhi on November 18th and 19th. News in detail. Bahrainis exercise their most fundamental civic duty by casting votes. Bahraini voters cast their votes today to elect the members of the Council of Representatives for the 6th legislative term, as well as municipal councillors, amid fierce competition among candidates in all electoral constituencies. 344,713 eligible Bahraini voters will choose their representatives, including 40 members of the Council of Representatives and 30 members of municipal councils, out of 507 candidates according to the final lists. These elections witnessed a wide participation of Bahraini women, as the number of female candidates has doubled in the parliamentary and municipal elections compared to the previous elections, reaching a total of 94. Bahraini youth also played an important role in this year's parliamentary and municipal elections, whether candidates or votes. The election process started from 8 a.m., got over at 8 p.m. Judges of the higher committee to oversee the integrity of the elections have announced the participation of 11 civil society organizations in monitoring the parliamentary and municipal elections, noting that the number of monitors has reached 449. Bahrain International Air Show 2022 success celebrated internationally. Bahrain International Air Show celebrated a decade of distinction with the participation of over 180 companies in more than 30 countries. Throughout the 3-day event, the air show featured improved business, networking, growth, and information sharing opportunities. The exhibition hall was a huge success with diverse participants from over 160 delegations showcasing their latest aviation technologies and services. Israeli-based companies participated in the air show for the first time with a variety of aviation, space technology, and defense industry organizations. Israel Aerospace Industries manufactures military and civilian aerial and astronautic systems. BAS has grown to be an international attraction for trade, business, and investment from various regional and foreign industrialized countries, with the hope that Bahrain International Air Show's next edition in 2024 will bring further success and prosperity. Bahrain Airport Services and Bahrain Institute of Banking and Finance partner to build leadership capacity in the aviation sector. Bahrain Airport Services has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Bahrain Institute of Banking and Finance. The signing ceremony took place on Friday, November 11, 2022, the third day of the Bahrain International Air Show. The agreement was signed by Bahrain Airport Services CEO Mohammed Khalil and Director at Bahrain Institute of Banking and Finance Dr. Ahmed Al Sheikh. Under the agreement, Bahrain Institute of Banking and Finance will be providing Bahrain Airport Services employees with a development program aimed at refining their management and supervisory skills, in addition to training in project management, financial literacy, budgeting for managers, and customer experience. Through its program, Bahrain Airport Services aims to build a strong human capital capable of successfully progressing within their career paths. Employees from different departments will undergo a range of development programs at the Bahrain Institute of Banking and Finance. Women in Aviation Bahrain chapter unveiled during Bahrain International Air Show 2022. Bahrain Airport Company Chief Executive Officer Mohammed Yusuf Al Bin Fallah announced the establishment of the Women in Aviation Bahrain chapter during Bahrain International Air Show 2022. The chapter will provide a platform for collaboration, helping to raise awareness of women's contributions to the aviation sector, spotlight career opportunities, and promote the principles of gender equality. The current board is comprised of men and women from organizations within the aviation industry who were appointed temporarily to help establish the chapter. A new president and new board members will be elected, and membership is open to both men and women in the aviation industry. The chapter's members can attend AGM meetings, share their expertise and insight into the topics on its agenda, and vote on all matters presented. Members will also have the opportunity to attend conferences that align with the chapter's objectives, speak at leading events, enter industry awards, and apply for educational scholarships. Today's COVID updates. COVID updates brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers. ASRI joined Forever Green campaign with Al Hid Avenue tree planting. The National Initiative for Agricultural Development has announced it received generous support from the Arab Shipbuilding and Repairing Company, ASRI, for planting trees and shrubs in Al Hid Avenue in Muharraq Governorate. The move, in cooperation with the Ministry of Municipalities Affairs and Agriculture and the Supreme Council for Environment, supports the efforts to achieve the environmental goals to which Bahrain is committed regionally and globally. It is also within the second phase of the National Afforestation Campaign, Forever Green, and in line with the national priorities to expand the kingdom's green area. Al Hid Avenue is one of the most vibrant in the area and serves many densely populated residential towns. The planted trees were selected for their ability to withstand the heat and create a canopy environment that achieves the aesthetic and environmental goals of this national campaign. They also contribute to increase the green areas in harmony with Bahrain's climate. Now we will be back after a very short break. The 16th branch of Megamart and Macromart supermarkets in Bahrain has opened in Sahla. The best offers are available to the customers at affordable rates. Everyone is welcome. During and around the opening day, a variety of fish including salmon, meat and dairy products, roastery, frozen items, food and non-food items, groceries, fruits and vegetables, electronics, garments and ready-to-eat food items are available to the customers at affordable rates. Hearty welcome to all. Megamart and Macromart, your favorite shopping destination.
The exclusive franchisee of Cochin Kala Bhavan in Bahrain, with over a decade of existence in Bahrain. Exclusive online regular classes have started for classical dances, music vocal, instrumental music, cinematic dance, Kathak, Zumba body fitness, karate and yoga, drawing, arts and craft, children's theatre. For more information, please call 3909 6845 3909 4806 3885 2397 or visit www.bahrainmediacity.com.
Welcome back. UAE firms have 50 days to achieve Emiratization target before being fined. Companies in the UAE's private sector now have only 50 days left to meet the latest Emiratization target before fines are imposed. The Ministry of Human Resources and Emiratization reiterated in an advisory on Friday. Firms with 50 or more employees are mandated to raise their Emiratization rate by 2% of overall skilled jobs. Starting January 1st, 2023, those who fail to comply will have to pay dirham 72,000 for each Emirati who is not employed. The ministry on Friday stressed that they are ready to help companies achieve the target. Incentives and support packages are being provided under the Emirati Talent Competitiveness Council, it added. The Emiratization support is carried out through two tracks. The first is to expand the base of jobs available to nationals in the private sector, and the second is to build a safety net that supports them in their career paths. UAE prepares for a promising tourism season as world's coolest winter approaches. The UAE was ranked 11th globally on the list of the highest performing tourism sectors worldwide, which is issued by Forward Keys, a Spanish company that specializes in analyzing travel and aviation databases in cooperation with the world travel market. The UAE's tourism sector has performed incredibly, according to international reports that highlighted a rise in the number of tourists arriving through the country's airports, signaling a promising tourism season for the sector as the launch of the world's coolest winter campaign approaches. The report showed that the UAE's tourism figures are close to pre-pandemic and noted that the country would benefit from the momentum seen across the Gulf region as the 2022 World Cup approaches. Biometric system to be implemented at all ports of Kuwait in early 2023. The Ministry of Interior will start implementing the iris face hand scanning and electronic signature procedures at Kuwait International Airport and the borders early next year in a bid to prevent deportees, including those involved in forgery, from returning to the country. The procedures mentioned above will take effect upon completion of the supply, installation and testing of devices. Borders, Forensic Evidence and Information Systems departments are currently coordinating their efforts to start the operation of these advanced devices, affirming the devices have high efficiency rates and are accredited in most airports and borders throughout the world. The top official tasked with overseeing US border security had been asked to resign or be fired. Customs and Border Protection Commissioner Chris Magnus said he had been asked to step down by the Homeland Security Secretary. Mr. Magnus has refused to do so and has defended his work with the federal agency, reports said. Around 227,500 migrants were stopped at the US-Mexico border in September, up 18.5% from the same time in 2021. Most arrived from Venezuela, Cuba and Nicaragua, countries that have suffered deteriorating political and economic conditions. The crossings have become an intensely political issue, with the Republican governor sending buses filled with migrants to Democratic states in a bid to increase pressure on the Biden administration to reduce the number of people crossing. Representatives of 75 countries to participate in the Conference on Countering Financing of Terrorism to be held in New Delhi on November 18th and 19th. Union Home Minister Amit Shah will attend the third ministerial No Money for Terror conference organized by Indian government in New Delhi on November 18 and 19, which will be attended by representatives of 75 countries to discuss terrorist financing and related issues. People familiar with the development said on Saturday, discussions at the conference will focus on global trends in terrorism and terrorist financing, use of formal and informal channels of funds for terrorism, emerging technologies in context of terrorist financing and requisite international cooperation to address related challenges, the Ministry of Home Affairs said in a statement. The hosting of the conference shows the importance being given by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi government to the issue of international terrorism as well as its zero tolerance policy against the menace, and having discussions on this issue on the international community, the ministry said. The ministry said Shah will convey India's determination in its fight against terrorism as well as its support systems. The conference aims to progress the discussions on combating terrorist financing held by the international community in the previous two conferences in Paris 2018 and in Melbourne 2019. It also intends to include discussions on technical, legal, regulatory and cooperation aspects for all facets of terrorism financing. It attempts to also set the pace for other high-level official interpolitical deliberations focused on countering terrorist financing, the Ministry of Home Affairs statement said. With that, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates in BMC News Live English at 7:30 p.m. every day. I am Vinod Narayanan signing off from BMC News Live. Good night.